morning, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera. I hope you guys have woken up well and are excited to face your day. For me, I have had really a good morning as a starters, and I am really excited to continue having or to see what the day has in store for me. Remember, you can always send in your morning affirmations. As we always say, telling yourself the morning affirmation makes you start your day in a positive note and also get to end it up positively, yeah, because nobody can tell you otherwise that you're not good enough. You know already, you told yourself already that you are beautiful, you're good enough, and you deserve the best, yeah. So for now, as it is the norm here at the Younib Breakfast, Show, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. Today we're going to speak about balancing work life and mental health, and I hope you guys have grabbed your cup of coffee, your tea, or whatever you're having for the breakfast, and you're seated comfortably at your sofa set, yeah, and ready to listen to this discussion. But before I get to introduce to you the guest of the day, remember this show is proudly brought to you by Miss Yo Ashen and Younib organization. We are trying to reach out to the community to bring you information on matters mental health, and remember, this will help you be able to help yourself, your family members, and also your friends, yeah, to be able to have a good mental health or good mental well-being, yeah. So remember, if you need any psychological help, you can always call the number 0700-352-250, and our psychologist will be able to help you out. And you can also interact with us through our social media platforms, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719-144-144, yeah. So good morning.
Good morning, Pesh.
Yes. How is your morning now? How is your morning today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. I hope everybody at home is also well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to be here.
I'm also excited. As you can see, our guest of the day is not a new face. It's Mtembei Muthami, already one who you already know. He has been able to grace your screens quite a lot, yeah. But we're always grateful for him being here, right? Now we get to the questions of the day, yeah? And the main question, or the question of the day today, we're speaking about balancing work life and also mental health. So is there a real balance between work life and also mental health?
Well, there is a balance, but you see, like everything else in life, every experience is very personal. So whatever looks like balance for me may not necessarily be the same balance as it for you. But essentially, when you talk about a balance, it's knowing how to juggle everything that is thrown on your plate without it affecting either your work too much or affecting your personal life too much, but just knowing that there is boundaries between your work, your personal life, and your mental health. Because if your work life is taking too much of your time, that means you're not able to deliver when it comes to your personal life, and then because of that conflict, then comes the issues with the mental health.
Okay, so guys, as I said, today we're discussing about balancing work life and mental health, and it is important for us to understand that we should always get a balance, right? Yeah, so what are some of the challenges that people who are going to work here face when it comes to balancing life, or their mental health and also the work life? Yeah.
Majorly, it's about the performance. You know, we live in a very capitalist. We live in a very capitalist society. That means that it's usually output. Output determines how much you get paid. It determines your success at your workplace. So it's always about career, because if I am doing well in my career, that means I can be able to sort out my personal expenses, my family expenses, my vacation, and everything. So you find that people who are going to work, they're going to prioritize their work over everything, every other aspect of their lives, which is sometimes means that the rest is not going to be enough. There's no time for leisure, there's no time for recreation, there's no time for socializing, and every other aspect of a social being. So you find that because there's too much attention given to the work life, you find that they're not having enough time to work on other things that they should be working on that. And then now, because of the fear of missing out, you'll see that maybe your friends are attending parties, or maybe they are going to social events, but then now you have so much workload because you really need to deliver
Yeah.
so that you can maybe please your bosses and advance quite fast in your career. You find that this missing out is going to affect now their mental health. They're like, oh, I'm always busy, I don't even have friends anymore. All I do is work. I don't even get enough sleep. I carry my work home, so whenever I'm at home, I'm not even spending time with my loved ones because I'm always prioritizing work. So you'll find that the main challenge is to know just when to pause. When enough is enough for the people who are going to work.
So that's the main challenge, yeah. And I like the fact that you've said about making a pause, yeah. Balance. We're speaking about balance, right? And balance means you are equalizing your mental health and also your normal life balance. We've been speaking about many conversations when it comes to mental health, yeah. We've seen for you to have good mental health, you have to also balance everything, right? So how can I know that I am not balancing my mental health? I'm not balancing my social life. I'm not balancing my work. I'm doing more work compared to the rest of the social side. I am doing more work compared to me having time to actually check on my mental health. I'm doing more work instead of me also taking time to do my physical work or my physical health, to look at my physical to look at my physical health and also my emotional state. Yeah.
Well, see, the thing with the balance, the thing with you trying to figure out that your life is very balanced, it's all about the hours that you allocate for every activity. We advocate for 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So from the 24 hours, you need to know that I'm sleeping for 8 hours of sleep. The normal work life, people work for a 9 to 5, that's about 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
So that's already 16. So you're left with how many more hours? Yeah, so if you've slept for 8 hours and then you've worked for 8 hours, that means you have 8 hours left. So you'll find that if by any chance that you're still working overtime, or maybe you don't have time to spend with your family, you don't have time to go to social events, you don't have time to do anything that is away from, that is not you sleeping and it's not you working, that's when you'll know that hapa kuna kashida. Because also sometimes it could be that you're prioritizing so much on your personal life in the event that you're at work but you're also on TikTok, you're messaging your friends, you're on the phone, you're calling your friends. So even your productivity at work, in as much as you're at work, you're really not at work. Sometimes you find that you're at home, you're in a social event, but you're still getting your work calls. So you never really know when you're working and when you're having your personal life. That's when you know that's like the biggest sign to know that there's no balance. There's no balance. Like it's either my work life is getting into my personal life, or my personal life is eating up into my work life.
Okay, so now I know we have gotten to understand how we can be able to realize we are not balancing our social life, our work life, or everything when it comes to also our mental health. Yeah. And as we think about this, I want us to take this short break and we'll be back with more. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera, and today we're discussing about balancing work life and mental health. And we are joined by Mtembei Muthami, who is helping us get to understand this conversation of the day. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So before the break, you told us about the challenges, yeah, and how we're not doing how you can realize that you're not doing the best in balancing your mental health and also your work-life balance. Yeah. So I want us now to go to, when we speak about balancing work, definitely we cannot speak about it without speaking about the stresses that people go through during work days, yeah, or the kind of stress they get from going to work. So I want us now to go straight to the type of common signs and symptoms that somebody can be able to see that it's work is really affecting their mental health negatively.
Okay. So in the event that you know that your work is stressing you, one of the common signs is feeling helplessness. There's also feeling very fatigued. There's loss of motivation, and sometimes you just really don't want to even get out of bed. So if your work life is a bit too stressful, or you're taking too much from your work life and into your personal life, which is also affecting your mental health, you'll find that even when you're at the workplace, you're going to notice that you started not enjoying the activities that you used to do. Maybe you used to like wake up in the morning, you're so excited, you're dressing up for work, you want to look the best that you can, but now of late you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna wear whatever it is that is available for me. Or sometimes you find that yes, you're very motivated to leave the house, but then once you get to the workplace, there's so much that is expected of you that sometimes you just crash and burn. It's just like you have no motivation to even do anything because you feel like you have such a large workload to the point where now it feels like I can't even do this, and you just need to like shut down kidogo, think about whatever it is that I need to do. And sometimes there's also the issue about your sleeping patterns. You'll find that sometimes if you're too stressed at work and then you happen to go home, you'll find that sometimes you can't even sleep at home because you're thinking about whatever it is that you need to do at work tomorrow. Then that gives you anxiety. There's also elevated levels of anxiety because now you're too anxious because of your performance, because there's so much stress, but you still want to maintain the status quo, but that can't happen because you need to address the stress.
Okay, so is that the same as saying that somebody is experiencing burnout?
Okay. With the thing with burnout comes about when there's so much work to be done, and then there's not enough time for rest. We are all social beings. We're not machines. We're not built like robots. There's need for rest, and by rest, not just sitting down. Sometimes it's just like visually stimulating yourself, emotionally stimulating yourself, outside from the work that you're doing. So yes, we could be working in the same situation, the same environment, but while you are just seated and on your phone, and you call that rest, and then I happen to go out for swimming or walk in the park, you'll find that for me, I might feel more rested even if I was moving around, because there was a lot of activities happening that were stimulating me emotionally, and they were taking me away from my work. I was not thinking about my work, while instead you're sitting, yes, but then sometimes you're like, oh, but I have to go and work on Monday. I have to go work in the morning tomorrow. But now I totally disassociated with that. So if there's no time for you to disassociate yourself from work, like completely disassociate yourself from work to and then reflect on whatever it is that you may want to reflect on, that's when you find that there's burnout that's going to be involved, because you're just working. Even when you're not working, you're thinking about working. Then after thinking about working, now you're going back to work, reevaluating, planning ahead. So there's no time for rest. There's no breaks. That's what causes that. That's what causes burnout most of the time.
So for burnout, do you think that or can you really elaborate to us whether the same symptoms that you've told us about the negative parts of our mental health and work balance and burnout, are they the same?
Are they the same in the sense that the signs and symptoms of burnout are also the signs and symptoms of bad mental health?
Yeah, okay, in workplace, yeah.
At the workplace, they could correlate. It's not really, it's either this or that. Sometimes they do correlate, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could find out that you're burnt out because you're burnt out, your energy levels are low, which also could be the same thing as somebody who is working under very stressful conditions, to the point where they feel like they don't even have the energy to deal with all these issues that they have. So it's either it's a correlation, you know, bad mental health conditions. Stressful working conditions can be the cause for burnout, because there's no time for rest, because at the workplace things have to move, you know, they have to output. We have to see results. But then also, you know, at the same time, in as much as you keep channeling out those results, you're also you're also highly susceptible to face burnout because there's no break. So the signs and symptoms of burnout on its own we could argue that they are the outcome of working in a very stressful working condition.
Oh, okay. Thank you for helping us be able to understand that specifically. Yeah. So we speak about the environment of the working place. Yeah. So I want to know, or rather we want to know about how the environment, a stressful environment, or the environment of a workplace can be able to influence or to impact the mental health of somebody.
What? The environment? Okay, when you say environment,
the workplace environment. How, for example, if I am in a good environment, right, in a conducive environment, how will it affect my mental health? If I'm in a stressful, how will it impact my mental health? That's what I was meaning.
So when it comes to your work environment, this could either be positive or negative. We have had this conversation about toxic work environments. That means that it's always about the work that is supposed to be delivered. So you need to work, you need this, you need that, we need these documents by the end of the day, we need these emails to be sent, we need this client to come in, you know. So there's a lot of deliverables, but then there's no time, we're not considering how much effort it takes to actually do that. So you find that in the event that you're working in a toxic environment, maybe let's say if you fail to deliver your end of the deal, a lot of repercussions is going to happen. Either your boss is going to get angry at you, is going to write you a very long email, or you're going to be summoned by HR. So if you're working in a very stressful work environment, you'll find that even your sense of identity is going sometimes to be limited, because now you're like, okay, I really can't be myself because I have to abide to the work ethic of my place, which means that every single day you're going into work, you're losing a bit of yourself. You know, you're trying to bottle down who you are. You're trying to suppress who you are as a person because you need to fit in within the working ethic of your job space, which is going to impact you negatively, because now over time you'll find that sometimes you're not even feeling like yourself anymore, because now you've become a totally different person, and it's not good for your mental health, as compared to a place where it's very creative, it's very what do you call it? It's a place that's very creative, a place that's very democratic, where everybody is heard, everybody gets their chance to speak out their ideas, you know, brainstorm as a group. Then you go about with the best ideas and then work on the ones that are not really the best. You'll find that you're even motivated to go to work. You know, sometimes you're just chilling, you may be just relaxing, and then you have thoughts of you're relaxing at home or wherever it is. Then you have a good idea. So you'll find that, oh, my ideas are going to be well received at the workplace. So you find that you're even motivated to go to work. You know, your work life is also, your workplace becomes sort of like a safe haven for you to be yourself, to express yourself, which is going to boost your confidence even when dealing with your own personal stuff, or maybe it's going to even help you or motivate you towards growing your career more, because you're feeling seen, you're feeling appreciated.
Okay, so it's good that we understand what you've said, and I feel like it's a lot of things that we need to actually consider. And it's not only us who go to work, but also our employers, And speaking about employers, we know that as you started, you said there are toxic workplaces, So how can we be able to reduce the stigma? Because definitely when it comes to professional health in workplaces, you'll find even though an employer will give you the opportunities to go for therapy, people will refuse going to the professional, saying that when I go, maybe my secrets will be taken to the employer because they are working under the employer. But maybe the employer is just there to help them get good mental health so that they can be able to work conducively. So what are the stigmas that we experience or people know in workplaces that we need to speak about?
I thank you, because you've raised the concern about having an in-house psychologist. Okay. And it's true. Most people don't like talking to the in-house psychologist, because even the psychologists themselves, they are under the boss. But people need to understand that when you're talking to a therapist, whatever you're speaking about in that session, it's very confidential. It's for your own benefit. It's not for the benefit of the company. It's for your own benefit, to make sure that you're in top tier working conditions, to make sure that you're balancing your personal life and your professional life very well. But you also need to understand that in the event where maybe, let's say, the issues that you're facing at the workplace is with other employers, of course, you see now the therapist is mandated to liaise with the HR, and so that they can either fix up the seating positions, the working conditions, switch up the composition of departments. But essentially, there's that stigma towards talking to people who are still under your boss, which you could raise the issue and be like, okay, here's the thing, my employer, I'm really thankful that you've set aside resources for us to make sure that the company has set aside resources to make sure that our mental health is in check. But we would recommend that we have a therapist or a space outside the workplace where somebody can go and just talk about whatever it is that their issues. And then in the event where this therapist or the psychologist feels like the issues need to be addressed, maybe liaised with the HR, they could come in, but not necessarily somebody who is also on the payroll under the boss. Majibu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that can really help when it comes to that, And it's good for us to also have just to be more welcoming when it comes to these updates, because it's there to help you guys when it comes to your mental health. It's there to help you become a better person. And you see, whatever we are discussing can easily be of help, to you when you're also going through burnouts, when you're going through the stress at workplace. Once you speak about it, then there's changes. As he said, they can be able to work with the HR and ensure that your workplace is much better than it was, So it's good for you to always take the opportunity. If you have these services at your workplace, it's good for you to grab the chance. For now, as we think about that, as we think about what we can do or how we can be able to change our narratives when it comes to our workplace, I want us to take this short break, and we'll be back with more. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera, and I hope you guys are following up with the discussion when it comes to balancing work and also your mental health. And it's something serious that we need to talk about because previously when we had our psychologist here, we had mentioned that most people will spend more time at work rather than the time they spend at home. So it means that your workplace should really be very, very good, a conducive place for you so that you can not be having a lot of stress, yeah? And we've gotten to understand the challenges. But before I can also continue maybe with the strategies or get to the strategies, I'd like to ask now, we have another group of people now, freelancers who work from home, remote people who work from home. And this started mostly after the COVID. That is when it became more common, yeah? Where most people started working from home, depending with the kind of work you do. You could just get people just doing it at the comfort of their home. And there are some people who this is their daily routine. So are there any cons when it comes to such jobs, yeah, when it comes to our mental health?
Well, I would say the major con is that your workplace is your home and your home is your workplace. So it might feel like, you can work at any time of the day, which is true. It is both a good thing and a bad thing, because if you can work at any time of the day or any time of the night, that means that you don't have a schedule, a designated time for your work. So find that maybe you could be at home enjoying your personal lives. Maybe you are hosting some friends over, and then once immediately they leave, you go back to your work. Then after some time, after maybe an hour or two, you stop working. You maybe clean up the house, then you go back to working. So you find that there's no routine. There's no consistent routine. And that could be dangerous because in the event where something comes up, an emergency comes up, is either your personal life will have to be on hold, or you're going to have to put a hold on your professional work. So it is manageable, but it's not the easiest to know that in as much as I am at home, I need to be working from 9 to 5 or from 8 to 4. And that work balance, that discipline is usually the hardest, I would say, to manage, especially because you're in your house, you're at the comfort of your home.
Okay, so it's good for somebody to do the balancing, yeah? Now, we come to the strategies. You have kept on telling us balancing is important, yeah? It's important for us to actually balance work life, mental health, our social life, our physical health, and everything, yeah? So what are the strategies that somebody who maybe is burned out at work, is having stress at work, what can they do, or what strategies can they follow to be able to help them maybe relax and also do the balancing when it comes to their mental health?
Okay, so the first thing I'd say is to have a planner. Maybe have a daily planner and have a weekly planner, so that whatever it is that is expected you through the day, you have it listed down. You wake up in the morning, you look at your diary or your planner. At 2 p.m. I'm supposed to be here. At 3 p.m. I'm supposed to be here. I have a meeting at 11, and then make sure that you also have a weekly planner, so that on Thursday or Wednesday I'm supposed to be there. That way you don't see your work as one big iceberg, but you've organized your work life into compartments that are very manageable to do. Instead of knowing that I have meetings from 9 to 5, you'll find that, I only have 3 meetings. I have 1 hour meeting between 9 to 10. Then I have a lunch break. Then I have a lunch meeting with my boss and a dinner event to attend to. So by the virtue of you knowing that, these are the tasks that I need to accomplish by the day, which are going to in turn spill over during the next day. So you'll find that it's easy for you to tick small tasks from your planner, instead of thinking of should I edit this photo first, should I meet up with the client first. If you don't have order and structure, it's going to feel like it's too stressful. And sometimes work stress comes from having no plan. Because now if you get into work and then you're like, whatever is thrown at me, I'll do it. Sometimes you might be tasked with a really huge task that you could have broken into small ones. You've been told, you need to plan this, you need to plan this show. and then you're like, oh, but I don't even know the topic, I don't know who's going to do the set, I don't know, so it becomes too much for you. But if you break it down into small tasks, like, okay, I'm going to ask Mtembei what topics are we going to discuss, and then as he's brainstorming, I'll ask Elias, oh, can you set up the set for me, and then all that, small tasks, you break them down into the big task, you break them into small tasks, and then you are able to accomplish everything because everybody, maybe the whole team has something to do. Another thing is to also plan for rest. There's need to plan for rest, and not just rest, but rest that actually fulfills you. Within your weekly planner, you could schedule for some yoga, you could schedule for a walk, you could schedule for a movie, a lunch with a friend. Things that take you away from your work and also takes you away from your personal life stress and just helps you to relax and calm down. It's sometimes, after a very long day, something as small as a glass of cold water calms you down, because it's not mandated by your work, it's not mandated by your personal life, but you're doing it for you. So including small tasks, small activities within your general week or maybe your day, to make sure that you're rewarding yourself. It's sort of like, I'm like, oh, today I've been quite productive. How about let me do this to get myself to relax. It's not just totally disassociate from your stress, but for you to catch a break. There's also the concept of there's also the concept of journaling, and it's very important to journal or write down your thoughts, write down your feelings, because I believe that if you want to learn about yourself, write. Because let's say you've written for the whole week, and then once you're reflecting on how your previous week has been, you'll find that you will be able to pick up on some small things that maybe they either triggered you, maybe they fulfilled you, and then because now you're getting to learn about yourself through yourself, you get to know, oh, these are the habits that I need to drop, these are the habits that I need to pick up, and these are things that I need to incorporate more, or maybe I should do less of within my week or with my life. And you'll find that you're able to better yourself because you're learning from yourself.
Okay, so those are the things that you can be able to look at or to practice so that you can be able to improve your mental health, yeah? And it's very, very important. Those are the things that you can be able to practice, or strategies that you can be able to employ or to work on, so that you can have a more conducive balance, or a balance between your work life and also your personal life. Because I feel like once you have a good personal life and a good working life, then you have the balance, right? Yeah. So if you can look at the camera and maybe speak somebody when it comes to their work balance, yeah, how can they be able, if they have a lot of stress already, yeah, if they have toxic places at work and they're trying to also cultivate a balance between work, somebody who has a lot of work to the extent they don't know the difference between me going to work and me being at home, because work will always come back with me at home and vice versa, yeah. So they don't know the difference between the balance. They don't know how they can be able to make a balance at all. Even though they try making that, there's too much work for them, yeah? They are burnt out also. What can you tell them?
The most important thing is to put yourself first. I think we've been championing for this, that you come first. There's no career if you're not okay. There's no success if you're out here suffering. So the best thing is to put yourself first. Ask yourself, you need to prioritize your mental health, you need to prioritize your health. So for that, sometimes it's very hard to do so, because you don't know what to do. And so the most important thing is to actually talk about it. Have these conversations. Say that, oh, I'm feeling burnt out. I feel like I have a lot on my plate. There's so much that's going on in my personal life right now, and I need to take a break. And then in the event where your employer or you also can't take a break yourself, because maybe you're running your own company, there's the need to ask for help, reach out for help. Sometimes sometimes it's the small things that actually make a difference. You could be out here sharing your problems, then you just feel relieved, and then you're like, then somebody's like, oh, but that you must be really hardworking, you must be really, productive, and then sometimes, you feel like you're not doing enough, that's why you're getting too stressed. But talking to somebody is going to maybe reassure you that, oh, you're actually on the right track. A lot of people, a simple compliment as, a lot of people could not handle all that pressure, so you must be really strong, you must be really hardworking, you keep going. It's gonna give you motivation. It could be a confidence boost, to give you the energy to keep pushing forward. But also there's the need to bring in help. If you're feeling too overwhelmed at work, talk to your employer, tell them, oh, I need maybe an assistant. If you yourself, maybe you're running the company, there's need for you to get somebody else to help with the workload, if that's an option too. But generally, it's all about putting yourself first, prioritizing your mental health, your overall health, because we need everybody for the system to keep working. There's no need for us to play success to the point that we are actually losing people within the workforce.
Awesome. I think you've given quite a good advice to these people, and it's true. You matter more than the work, and it's important for you to always look after yourself. And this is something we've been championing here at the Younib Breakfast Show with our psychologists ever since we started the mental health series. Even before, we used to say, you come first, and you deserve the best. So there's no need to stay in a toxic place. There's no need for you to actually have a problem with your mental health. And it's good for you to also ask or seek for help, once you see that you cannot manage it. So thank you so much for coming and enlightening us on the topic at hand. I feel like now we can be able to balance more of our workplace and also of our own mental health and also our physical and personal life, side of life, And I think most of us tumesoma sana, and we are I think we're looking forward to also be able to practice this, So thank you so much. And to everyone who has made this show a success, thank you so much, Elias, for being behind the camera, assisted by Daisy, and also for being our director. Asante sana, Elias Muchina. And to everyone who has been working behind the scenes, najua siwezi wataja wote, but thank you so much. It's because of you that this breakfast show always comes to you the way it is, And to you, our viewers, thank you for always being there to watch us every single morning, For always sharing your views, for always sending in your morning affirmations. Asanteni sana for now. Do have a beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.